Welcome to the Culinary Treasure Podcast. I'm Steven Shomler, your host. Today finds us on the island of Kauai. I guess I always say the enchanting island of Kauai. Absolutely love it. We're at the right slice, and we're at Kalaheo?
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Kalaheo.
Kalaheo. It just, I don't know, it sounds like some Greek word I studied in a different life. But Sandy, now another word I may not get right is your last name. Poehnelt?
Poehnelt, correct.
Poehnelt.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Oh, I got it.
Good job.
Excellent. It's a miracle. So you on the right slice, you have some evil, ridiculous pies. I really don't know sure I want to release this podcast because then anyone that comes here will be like I wanted to take 3 pies back to my room yesterday. Thank the good Lord for Lynn who let me know the secret. I could get a slice. I had a Lilikoi cheesecake pie slice. It blew my mind. Before we get into your amazing pies, questions to ask everyone on my podcast. Where were you born?
I was born in Fort Riley, Kansas.
And then where'd you go to high school?
I went to high school in Marshfield, Wisconsin.
And what's the mascot there?
The tiger.
The tiger. I lived in Minnesota for 3 years.
I won't hold it against you.
And I grew up in Southern California and learned we don't like people in Northern California. So everywhere I've been, it's fun for me. Who don't we like? And I learned in Minnesota, we definitely don't like Wisconsin. We don't like Chicago. And so if I understand correctly, a cool part of your journey, right after high school, you went to a 2-year culinary program, culinary school.
I did, yes.
Why?
I love to cook. I love to bake. So it was just the path that I decided I was going to take after high school.
Right after graduating from culinary school, I have the story right. You worked at a couple of corporate restaurants. Shall remain unnamed. Didn't love that experience.
I did not. I am not a corporate girl.
And so then you went into sales, of all things.
I did.
And you had a lot of really good success and a whole amazing life that makes me want to do an epic discourse podcast to talk about that. But this is culinary, so we got to stay on track. And you ended up vacationing in Kauai 3-4 times throughout the course of your journey, right?
I was here a couple times, yes.
And 2009 you visited, and someone said to you, I'll hire you. You move here, I'll hire you. And that stuck on your noggin, am I right?
It did, yep. I don't know what it was, but something clicked in my head, and I was wondering why I was going back to chilly Wisconsin.
Oh, I know what it is. I remember the first time snow fell when I lived in Minnesota. I thought it was cool, and I shoveled it with a shovel. The second time, boy, howdy, you can bet your bippy I had a snowplow.
That's for sure.
And when I learned that I'm good to -6, and I can't endure below -6, I thought this is not knowledge a human should possess.
Yes, I agree, 110%.
And I was cold here. See, I got here Monday night, and I was cold, in the hot tub, in the pool, and it was 68, and I was laughing at myself. Because right now at home, it is snowing. And I'm in, the Portland metro area, and we don't get snow much, but it snowed 6 inches. And I'm like, I'm so glad it's going to be 78 today.
Perfect. It's the best temperature, 78.
So you moved here, and you said, I'm going to stay 6 weeks and see if I can find a job.
Correct.
And you got a job doing what?
I did. I got a job my first week cooking lunch in a cafe, and I was there for a short time, and then I started making pies for the dessert menu.
So about 15 years later, 15 years after finishing culinary school, you finally use your degree once again.
Yes, I think my father was very happy.
Well, if my daughter made pies, I'd be very happy. So here's the crazy thing. Now, what month in 2009 was that?
I moved to Kauai in July 2009.
July. And then you blew my mind. A fact. When did you first launch The Right Slice?
The beginning of October 2009.
You were like a duck on a June bug. You were right after it.
I know.
Now, you started, a lot of people that start culinary businesses have a lot of fun different ways they started, but you started with a farmer's market.
I did. Yep. Our first day in business was actually the art night in town, and then we started farmer's market. The local newspaper writer likes to give me a hard time because he remembers the first farmer's market we did. We didn't have our health department permit yet, so we couldn't actually sell pie. So we set up a table and handed out business cards.
You know what? But I don't care because what real entrepreneurs, they do what it takes just to make it happen. And I'm sure people are so excited to hear your story and visit with you. And then when they saw you next time, they wanted that pie.
Yes.
So if you don't remember, that's okay. But when you first launched, what were the first couple of styles of pies you were making? Because you make like 900 ridiculously good flavors now. But what'd you launch with?
So the mango lilikoi is our most popular flavor. We started with that one. We have macadamia nut pie. We've done classics like classic apple pie. Our blueberry pina colada pie is very popular. So we probably had, I would say, 6 to 8 flavors when we first started, but we only sold by the slice in the beginning.
So you have to have like product development. That's a thing. And you did a macadamia nut pie.
Yes.
And you moved here in July, you opened in August. You must have been just right after making, is a macadamia nut pie like a pecan pie?
It is similar. Yep. It's a little more buttery, but definitely that same texture as pecan pie. Yes.
So you just were making it happen immediately.
Yep. You know, people are always happy to help you test when it's eating pie is the test.
Well, I come back regularly, and I should let you know when I'm coming back in advance so you can schedule a new pie. I'll test it for you. I'll come every day and test it and see if it's any good.
We did pie testings for a while. Once we got going and I had to hire help, we started doing pie tastings, and we would test out 8 to 10 new pie flavors, and we would do that every few months. Have customers come in and try them out and give us feedback.
So you started out about a year and a half. You were doing the year and a half. You did the farmers markets, and then you went brick and mortar.
We did, yes.
And what town was that in?
We were in Puhi. We were in the industrial park. You would not have found us if you didn't know we were there. And we moved in there in 2011.
And Puhi is near Lahui.
It is, right on the edge, yes.
Okay, that sounds like a bunch of phooey, but that's a terrible joke. I know, but I'm a dad. I got bad dad jokes. And then how long have you been here in Kalaheo?
We've been here 8 going on 9 years in Kalaheo already.
And, question I forgot to ask. You moved to Kauai July 2009. And about how long did it take for it to feel like home?
I think it probably felt like home almost right away. It's very similar to home. It's a small town. Everybody knows everyone. Everyone helps each other out. It's just 50 degrees warmer.
Yeah, the crazy thing about Kauai, I haven't been to all the islands, but this is, of the ones I've been to, this is my favorite. And the Big Island is my second favorite. But for those that don't know, there's like 70,000 permanent residents. And then every month, about 140,000 idiot and non-idiot tourists show up. If you're one of my listeners, please be a good, a stellar traveler. Don't be an idiot traveler. So that's just an interesting, there's not many people, 70,000 people on the whole island. That's not that many people, really.
It isn't, yeah. Yep.
And from what I've heard, everybody knows everybody.
That's for sure, yes. If they don't know you, they know about you.
So not a question for you to answer, but it just, where my head goes, that must make dating very interesting.
Yeah.
Regardless of your age group.
I can agree with that statement, yes.
Okay, so you've got, things have evolved over time. So what you have right now, I'm looking at this obnoxious, I texted my wife a picture of all the flavors, and she sent me back a list of what she wanted. So, and I didn't notice yet, I was just so excited because Lynn helped me. I was going to beat my Lilikoi cheesecake. I didn't even pay attention, but way to the left, it's sweet baby pies. So those are little baby pies that you have.
Well, we kind of have big babies around here, so those are 5 to 6 servings.
A baby pie is 5 to 6 servings?
Correct.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Okay. Then in the middle is just slices, like I got yesterday, a slice. And then over here, you've got savory pot pies.
Yes.
Now, you can't just show up and eat it. You gotta, if you want to have it ready, you gotta order about an hour in advance because you bake them fresh.
Yes. Or you can take it home and bake it. So we don't keep them hot because we want the quality to be the best that it can be. And sitting in a warmer is not the quality we want.
So like if I want a classic chicken pot pie, I could show up, I could order it, I could have 3 or 4 slices, I could have some Lilikoi cheesecake, some macadamia nut, a slice of coconut cream. And time I've eaten those 3, then magically the classic pot pie will come out of the oven and I can eat it then.
Exactly, yes. It happens all the time. Dessert first.
Or I could just take it home and cook it myself.
Yep. You have to have an oven. So you have to be careful if you're in a condo to make sure you have an oven because they do need to be baked. Or you can order online and we can bake them for you. Yep.
So if I don't have an oven, if I'm one of the dreaded tourists and I'm here, and I say dreaded tourists, if you're listening to this podcast, I've seen tourists that just make me cringe. And so please, I just say it again, particularly if you come to places I love like Kauai or Bozeman or the coast of Maine or the Oregon coast, don't be a knucklehead. But if you're staying and you're a visitor and you want wonderful chicken pot pie hot, you just call, you pick it up baked, and then you take it right home and you have it for lunch with your family.
Exactly. Yes. Perfect beach food.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I've had probably the best chicken pot pie I've ever had was looking out at the Caribbean Ocean at Kauai Culinary, this private island, and the chef made me a chicken pot pie because I absolutely love chicken pot pie.
Oh, nice.
It's like, oh, it's 80 degrees and I'm eating a chicken pot pie and a glass of wine. I'm so happy. But you've got on the menu right now a classic. You've got a shepherd's pie. Now, is there any mashed potatoes in that?
There are mashed potatoes on top of that. Yes, garlic mashed potatoes, and we use local beef in that pie.
Oh my goodness. And white chicken chili, that feels like a Wisconsin thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it probably is. Yeah.
And then thyme and white bean, is that vegetarian?
It is vegetarian, and we also offer that flavor in vegan.
I love that. Sounds amazing. So what is the triple threat?
Triple threat is local beef, Italian sausage, and bacon in a white country gravy with roasted potatoes.
I almost cussed. And this is, a clean when I put it out, in a podcast land, I put clean, not explicit. Say that again?
Local beef, Italian sausage, and bacon in a white country gravy with roasted potatoes. That's probably definitely a Wisconsin thing.
Yes, that sounds incredible. In Minnesota, we call it a hot dish, but that is phenomenal.
I won't tell you what we call it because, G-rated.
It's incredible. Okay, so what are... So the island lemon, talk to me about that.
So the island lemon is my favorite. It's our version of a lemon meringue. So basically we make a lemon meringue without the meringue and we put a crust on top instead. So it's a little bit more stable here in the humidity of Kauai.
And I actually have friends that don't like meringue. There's something wrong with them. I can't explain it, but they would love to have a lemon meringue-less pie.
Yes, it is definitely one of our more popular flavors and it's my favorite. So can't go wrong.
Yeah, and in addition to the Lilikoi cheesecake, irritated me because how good it was. Another thing that irritated me about it is the crust was perfect. And I'm not a baker. It's too much science for baking. I don't use recipes. I just handfuls of this. I cook by gut and instinct. And I have someone close to me that bakes that way, but it's pretty rare.
Yes.
But you have humidity. You have warm weather. You have all the things. I don't know how you get a perfect crust. How long did it take you to nail that?
It was a little trial and error in the beginning. We use all butter in our crust, so that's pretty unique. Most places will use shortening or lard. I switched to all butter here, and it definitely gives us a very nice crust, but it's more technique than anything, so just making sure you don't overmix it and get that nice flaky texture.
It's a good thing I'm happily married because all butter crust is like, wow, okay, sign me up. I actually own happinessismeltedbutter.com. I've never done anything with it. It's just a domain I own, but I love butter.
Oh, that's funny.
All butter crust
Perfect.
is amazing. Now, you got to walk me through the coconut cream because I love coconut. And sometimes it's done well in desserts or alcohols and sometimes not. I'm guessing yours is amazing.
It is pretty good. We use coconut milk and shredded coconut, so you get a lot of coconut flavor in the coconut cream. And we actually don't put whipped cream on it unless you ask because we find we have more purists that don't want whipped cream than people that do.
See, on different parts of the country, have you heard there's like a pie shake?
Yes.
Where they put the pie in the thing? I think I want your coconut cream pie in a shake with some Kahlua coconut rum and a little bit of dark rum.
It's on the menu right over there. Pie shake.
You do it?
We do.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
So I'm sure it's not legal, but I would be tempted to smuggle in a bottle of Kahlua rum and then just add it to my pie shake on the sly. Not anybody know, not post it, not get caught with it. I missed that. You do pie shakes.
We do. Yes, we do pie shakes. So your favorite flavor of pie in the blender with some ice cream. It's like eating pie on the go. It's perfect.
This is the second time I've been speechless. I did not know that. That's incredible. Okay, now what the heck is blueberry pina colada?
Organic berries with fresh pineapple, a little bit of rum, and coconut milk, and then we top it with a coconut crumble topping.
Wow. Okay. And especially, it's really good to have that when you get caught in the rain.
I think so. Pie is always good, right?
Do you know that song?
No.
Getting caught in the rain, pina coladas. If you like pina coladas, getting caught in the rain. We've had a lot of rain here the past couple of days.
We have. Weeks, yes.
Now, I'm having a hard time. Is the mango lilikoi, is it like a cheesecake? Because the lilikoi cheesecake was cheesecake but tastes like lilikoi.
Yes. So the mango lilikoi is actually like a peach pie texture. Big slices of mango, passion fruit mixed in. So not cheesecake, but fruit pie. That's our most popular.
I'm speechless again. This is just so ridiculous. And then you've got a bunch of other ones that are just you have to buy the whole pie. You don't get a slice. Like Dutch apple, classic apple. Is tropical banana, is that a cream pie or a fruit pie?
That's a fruit pie. So banana cream is kind of just fluff to me. So we created a tropical banana pie, which is more like an apple pie. Big chunks of bananas, cinnamon sugar, a little pineapple juice, and a touch of nutmeg. And it's a double crust pie, so like an apple pie.
I don't even know how I'm going to survive the next few days. I'm going to want to come here every day just to eat. That is ridiculous. And the only one we haven't mentioned, at least that sticks out to me, is the chocolate coconut macaroon. And that's pie. And that's a chocolate coconut macaroon pie.
It is. It's one of our top 5 for sure. Toasted coconut on the bottom, chocolate ganache in the middle, and a coconut custard on top. So rich and gooey like a nice macaroon cookie.
Okay, you got to walk me through that again, because again, I was distracted. Now, I've had plenty of sleep. You're kind of blowing my mind with your culinary stuff. One more time, tell me about this coconut.
All right, chocolate coconut macaroon. So toasted coconut on the bottom.
Okay.
A chocolate ganache in the center, and a coconut custard on the top.
That's what I thought you said. I can't even get my mind around that. Wow, that sounds ridiculous. This is really going to be difficult for me. How can I get here every day in my schedule to get more pie and more pie?
That happens a lot. I train my staff, if we don't see visitors at least twice in their visit, then we're doing something wrong.
Someone's became a dear friend of mine, Autumn. Her and her husband are amazing, and she is a chapter in my first book, and she had a food cart making pies. And she told me when I was interviewing you for the book that you're a baker is if when you're angry you want to roll dough. And I thought that was the most amazing thing. And my gut tells me that you still to this day, after all these many 50 years you've been here baking pies, not really, just since 2009, you still love baking.
I do. Yes, I do. I love to bake. Yep.
That's amazing. You seem, you moved here for a different life, for warm weather. And it seems like you're happy and fulfilled. Am I right?
I am. It's home. That's for sure. I love Kauai. I can't imagine living anywhere else.
Huh. And now do you do vacation in Wisconsin or?
Well, I don't know if it's really called vacation when you go to Wisconsin, but I do visit occasionally. Yes.
You got to have where else can you get a meat raffle and those kinds of things?
That's very true.
And cheese curds.
Yes, I do miss the cheese curds.
Yeah, where's the cheese curd pie up there?
I got some cheese curds in my freezer.
You are born in Wisconsin. Oh man. So there's a I won't say that joke. I'll just skip it. I'll tell you after because it's silly fun. But yes, and if you're listening, I'm sorry. There's just some things I've learned just to keep my mouth shut for public consumption. And then just for people, people can get boba tea, and I assume you have a cup of coffee and.
We do. Yep. We've got coffee. We've got local made kombucha here in the shop. We try to keep our waste down as much as we can. So we've got reusable bags. We carry a lot of local made goods. We've got a fantastic couple that makes handmade cutting boards and ornaments and magnets. And we've got a gal that makes really beautiful fabric pineapples and little aloha shirt.
Now, behind me is a couple cool looking bottles. There's this passion fruit teriyaki sauce.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably amazing. Am I right?
It is. Yep. You can't go wrong with that on the grill. And then we actually had them bottle exclusive for us, which is our mango lilikoi juice that we actually use in the mango lilikoi pie. So you can take that home too.
This says delicious in cocktails.
Yes.
So don't tell anybody. One thing I do when I get to Kauai is I head to Walmart and I get myself 2 6-packs of Hawaiian Sun lilikoi, just the cans. And then I get a bottle of vodka. And then that's my perfect end of night cocktail every night. I just have lilikoi and vodka, half and half. It's perfect.
Nice.
And so this, I bet I could do a lot of amazing stuff with this.
Yes, and it's super concentrated, so you don't need very much of it, so it will stretch.
Huh. It says, delicious in cocktails, but designed for our famous mango lilikoi pie. Yeah, I'm not going to use this in pie. It's like making an old-fashioned home. You can't make as a good old-fashioned home as in a bar. I can make a good martini at home as good as you'll get, but not an old-fashioned. And you can't make a pie at home as good as you'll get here, nor can your grandma. No offense, not your grandma. But speaking of grandmas, tell me about your first baking memories?
Well, my great grandma used to make homemade bread and buns. So when I was teeny tiny, I remember being in my grandma's kitchen, and great grandma Van Way was making buns. So we would watch and help. And then I started making pies. I still use my grandma's pumpkin pie recipe here in the shop.
Wow. And that's Grandma Van Wayne?
Grandma Van Way. That's my great grandma. Yep.
And what town was she in?
That was when we were in Marshfield, Wisconsin. So that's where I was raised, around the Marshfield, Wisconsin area.
So you'd head over to great grandma's when you were just a wee one and make buns and pies with her.
Yep. And then Grandma Arliss, it's her pumpkin pie recipe that I use. And
that family knows this. They're okay with it?
They are. Yep.
Yeah,
as long as I bring some back with me when I go visit, then I'm okay.
I learned in Minnesota at first in Minnesota, if you move there, someone that told me go there, they'll be nice to you, but they're not really your friend.
Yes.
Minnesota nice is very false.
I've heard that.
It's true. And then, like, if you say, oh, can I get a recipe for this? They're like, hardcore, no. We don't share it outside the family.
I believe it.
And it's like, are you kidding me? It's just pasta. It's not like it's even that good. I'm sorry I asked. But so it's shocking that you got a special, the legislature in Wisconsin must have approved you taking a recipe out of the state.
Well, don't let it get out there too much.
So, and then tell me about, you do some seasonal pies, I bet.
We do seasonal. My all-time favorite pie that we do is a cranberry walnut pudding that we only do at Thanksgiving and Christmas with fresh cranberries, because it's the only time we seem to get fresh cranberries here on Kauai. But that's my all-time favorite. It's almost like a coffee cake in a pie shell.
So, I think of marketing ideas like a sparkler. They just come off of me. And some of them are actually good, but a lot of the sparks, they aren't. But there is a local to Oregon coast cranberry grower, Vincent Cranberries. Some people that I know and love, they make, Traza Foods makes hummus in Oregon, and they're wonderful Lebanese hummus. It's incredible. They make toom, which is this garlic sauce, and they make a cranberry walnut hummus for the holidays.
Wow.
And people are always complaining that they want it the rest of the year. And I bet if you contacted Vincent in advance, they could probably get you some cranberries like in July. And you could do like a 1-week promotion, Christmas in July, and we've got it's a cranberry what pudding?
Cranberry walnut pudding.
And is it a pie or is it a pudding?
It's a pie.
A cranberry walnut pudding pie. So that you get a week-long promotion. You could sell them out in advance. You start selling them in June. We only make 50. You got to buy them. They're $200 each. And then have Vincent send you the cranberries. I think that would be a ton of fun.
Yep, I agree.
Do you make any other seasonal ones?
We do. We do pecan during the holidays. We do pumpkin. Then we do variations of pumpkin haupia, which is definitely a local favorite. When we get fresh mangoes in, then we can do a fresh mango pie. And it just depends on the season. We've got a really great grower here on Kauai, and she grows the most amazing white pineapples you'll ever have in your life. And we developed a white pineapple pie with a macadamia nut crumble topping that we do only with her pineapples.
You have to say that again.
So it's a white pineapple pie. The white pineapples are grown here on Kauai from a local farm, and we do a macadamia nut crumble topping.
Is it like a fruit pie or like a cream pie?
It's a fruit pie, yep. So it's just pineapple, loaded with pineapple. We don't use a lot of sugar. We don't use fillers. So our fruit pies are full. Like banana pie, for example, we use 5 pounds of bananas for one pie.
I like to think of myself as knowing so many things, but I did not even know that white pineapple was a thing.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing. You have to check it out. They're at the farmer's market on Wednesday.
And then you put it in a pie and you put a macadamia nut crumble in it?
Yes.
And when do we get this?
Whenever I remember to call them and see if they have any extra pineapples around. Their line at the farmer's market is as long as our line is at the farmer's market. So there's very rarely any pineapples left.
And you still do a farmer's market?
We do one farmer's market a week, yep, on Wednesday afternoons in Poipu.
And where at?
The Kukui'ula Culinary Market. Shops at Kukui'ula.
Okay, they have a farmer's market there every Wednesday.
They do in the afternoon, yeah. It's a great market. They have live music, and a lot of the restaurants will do small pupu-sized servings and tons of farmers. It's an excellent market.
So I tell you that because when you look up your location on the phone, you want to make sure you're going to the right one. Because there's one that's right there in Poipu, which is amazing. But then now there's the actual store is in Kalaheo.
I have heard that somebody pinned us at the farmer's market. So yeah, people sometimes get sent the wrong direction.
Yeah, so go to the right one. The farmer's market's currently just Wednesday afternoons.
Yes.
But if you're listening to this podcast and it's 2 years from now, don't be a knucklehead. Go to their website, go to Instagram or Facebook, and make sure they're there, because things actually change.
Yes.
People don't realize that. They hear, my podcast took around a couple years ago. Oh, it wasn't there anymore. Yeah, you should check.
Yep. We get that all the time. They read our blog and they're like, oh, you're doing this. I'm like, no, that was 5 years ago. Sorry. Check the dates.
So, any cool spots that you love around Kauai that are safe? You can't give the special ones out, because then the locals will get you. But if someone's visiting Kauai, any kind of your favorite places it's okay for you to mention?
Well, we're kind of on the southwest side here, so we love Salt Pond for sunset. So it's a great beach to go to. It's lifeguarded beach, but the sunset views are amazing there. If you go up to the canyon, you definitely want to go to the lodge and have lunch, because they do a really great job on their menu up there.
That's Waimea Canyon.
Peaceful. Waimea Canyon. Yep. Kokea Lodge. Yeah.
And I've heard that, now tell me, I haven't, 3 times, I'm usually busy eating and drinking, and so I don't make my way to any beach, which is ridiculous. But I've heard that many people told me Salt Pond's good for swimming as well.
It is. Yep. It's lifeguarded, so it's safer to swim. And there's usually plenty of people around, but it's not crowded. Like if you go to Poivu, for example, it's pretty crowded down there. So it's a little less crowded, a little more off the track.
Yep. Okay. And it's okay for us to put that, I have to cut that out. You telling your people about Salt Pond. Okay. Because I've run into some places that are beautiful, but I can't mention them, because then the locals will have my head.
Yeah.
So
we're not going to tell you the good stuff.
That's exactly right. Well, I know some of it now. Yeah. They let me in on some of the secrets. Not all of them, but some of them. Well, it has been a delight to have you on the podcast. I met you last time I was here, and I'm pretty intuitive, and I go, that woman loves to bake. I mean, you were passionate about your pie shop, and we were actually sitting at the bar at an event for Hapa Kauai.
Yep, fundraiser.
Yeah, a fundraiser for Aaron Hoff's amazing nonprofit, whose name I cannot remember right now, which is absolutely terrible. But he helps kids get off of drugs and stuff. And you just started talking about your pie shop. I have got to get a podcast with her, because you meet. Sadly, I meet a lot of people in the culinary world who have no vim, no vigor, no passion. The light's gone out, and they really should just pack it up and do something else.
Yeah.
But when I meet those people who just have spark and they have I want to, that the love is going to be in the food. And I was so excited. Again, I said to him, when Lynn said, oh, did you want a slice or the whole thing? I can get a slice of Lilikoi cheesecake? I am in. All right, well, we better end this podcast. I need to get me 3 or 4 pieces of pie and a pie shake, and then I'll waddle my way out of here. But it's been a delight having you on the podcast. I wish you all the success in the world.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Cheers.
Aloha.